morning everyone. Myself Dr. Hanuman Prasad. I am working as an assistant professor in the Department of Chemistry at Institute of Aeronautical Engineering IARE, which is located at Dundigal. The topic that I am going to discuss in today's session is from Module 5, Gender and Culture. And the name of the topic is Love and Acid Just Do Not Mix. And the contents that I am going to discuss as a part of this topic are introduction, types of acid, reasons behind acid attack, real life incident of acid attack, treatment, prevention, laws against acid attacks in India, and finally references. Let's look at each content in detail. The first content is introduction. Acid attack is the act of throwing acid onto the body of another, especially by male onto the body of female. Okay, there are no records where female did the acid attack on male. Okay, so that is why especially by male onto the body of female, with the intention to disfigure, maim means wounding or injuring, so that part of the body is permanently disfigured or damaged. Okay, or to torture or to kill. So these are the intentions. So you can see the image here. An acid is sprinkled or poured onto the face of a female. Okay. So acid attack is the act of throwing acid onto the body of another, especially by male onto the body of female, with the intention to disfigure, maim, torture or kill. Okay. So by looking at this introduction, so why we are discussing this topic in gender sensitization, you should know. Love and acid just do not mix. Means you should be completely aware the gender issues. So why people will go for acid attack? Because of lack of awareness. So because of lack of awareness on gender issues, lack of awareness on gender equality. So all these things together make him, the person, immature to do these kind of acid attacks, which is completely unacceptable. Even though he is uneducated or immature or lack of awareness on gender issues. So these things are not at all acceptable. Okay. So now let's look at the next content. What are the types of acid that are used in acid attack? Especially strong acids are used in acid attack to disfigure or to maim or to torture or to kill. So the best examples of strong acids are hydrochloric acid, whose formula is HCl. And the second example of strong acid is nitric acid, whose formula of HNO3. The third example of strong acid that people use in acid attack is sulfuric acid, which has the formula of H2SO4. You can see the acid bottles, HCl bottle, HNO3 bottle and H2SO4 bottle. Okay, these are the types of acid, especially strong acids. All these are strong acids, which will for sure disfigure or maim or torture or kill the corresponding person on whom this type of strong acid is sprinkled or poured. Okay, so one should not do this kind of things. Use these acids for good purpose. There are many good purposes that you can do by using these acids. You can clean the toilets when they are very, very dirty or when they are completely out of order. And you can use many chemical reactions in the laboratories. And you can invent many more things using these kind of strong acids. But not for acid attack. So please take a note of this and behave accordingly in the society. And be matured about gender issues and gender equality. And now let's move on to the next content. Reasons behind acid attack. What are the various reasons behind the acid attack? Conversion of love into the hatred after long trials or any other reason. frustration, ego, jealousy, immaturity, improper guidance by colleagues or friends, lack of ethics, political background, revenge purpose, and also lack of social awareness. So these all are the reasons behind the acid attack of a person who is having full of immaturity or full of ego or jealousy or frustration, or who turned his love into hatred or immaturity or improper guidance by his colleagues or friends, and due to his lack of ethics and due to his political background. So the ego that he has political background, that he may think that no one can do anything. So with that egoistic political background, he may commit acid attack, and also to take revenge with immaturity, and also lack of social awareness, what to do, what not to do in the society. So these all social awareness comes from lack of proper knowledge on the current issues. Okay, so please take a note of this and behave accordingly in the society, and you must fight for gender equality, not for this kind of acid attacks. Okay, and let's look at the next content. Real life incident of acid attack. According to the newspaper The Hindu, in India, an estimated 500 to 1000 attacks takes place every year. How many attacks takes place every year? As mentioned in the Hindu newspaper, an estimated 500 to 1000 attacks take place every year. And while they rarely kill, they leave severe physical, psychological, and social scars. Okay? They leave physical scars, they leave psychological scars, and they also leave social scars. Scars means permanent, one kind of stamp kind of thing on the face. Okay? Permanent scars. Okay. So acid attacks, which overwhelmingly target women especially, and also children. Many such incidents are happening in India, unfortunately. Unfortunately, many such acid attack incidents are happening in India. One of the acid attack victims is Miss Reshma Qureshi. Miss Reshma Qureshi, a 19-year-old girl. A 19-year-old girl means young girl, 19-year-old. Okay, so young girl who lost an eye. Who lost an eye? Who is she? Miss Reshma Qureshi. So who lost an eye in the acid attack, and whose face was brutally disfigured, maimed. Okay, brutally disfigured in the attack. The attack. What attack? Acid attack. She walked the New York City catwalk to whoops and cheers in what she called a life-changing experience. Okay, so turning this kind of victory into permanent social scar on her face, and the loss of eye. Okay, and disfiguring of her face, her beautiful face. You can see the image, how beautiful she is. Okay, Reshma Qureshi. She's an 19-year-old girl, and she walked the New York catwalk. Okay, so one incident changed her life. So life-changing experience. Okay, very very bad. Okay, when somebody is growing, or when somebody is winning, or when somebody is making the nation glorious, then no one should look at her or him and don't feel blame, don't feel shy, or don't feel ego, or don't feel jealous. You should always feel that you should also win those kind of things. You should work hard, or you should do smart work in such a way, not in a negative way. Okay. So if you are aware of this kind of gender equality or gender awareness, you should never commit this kind of negative attempts. Okay. So please be aware of gender equality and gender sensitization. Okay. And the next content is treatment. So here I am not going to explain what kind of treatment will be given for acid attack. Here I am explaining psychological treatment. Victims of acid attack don't need any sympathy. Sympathy should not be shown on them from anyone. They don't need any sympathy from anyone. They just need a helping hand to feel oneness with society. What they just need? They just need a helping hand to feel oneness with society, to unite in the society. Means society will separate them. So in that time, they don't need any sympathy. That will make even more sadness. Okay. So they just need a helping hand to feel oneness with society. Uganda has the world's largest burn center, so their treatment can be done. Proper counseling is required. Long-term care is very, very essential, and social support is mandatory for them, such as shelter, occupational training, etc. Okay, in that case also, one should be strong. They should not commit any suicides also, because that is the time where they have to show their strength. Okay, for that society help is must and should. Without that, they cannot go forward, or they cannot move forward, or they cannot progress. Okay, so victims of acid attack do not need any sympathy from anyone. This is very, very important to understand. They just need a helping hand to feel oneness with society. So counseling is required, long-term care is required, and social support such as sheltering and occupational training are must and should for the victims of acid attack. And what are the prevention methods of these acid attacks? Education system of India should be modified, which include one compulsory subject about violence against women. So they should be aware of violence against women. Okay? Then they can understand how they will overcome that issue, how they will not get that kind of thoughts. They should not get that kind of thoughts first of all. For that, it is compulsory to include this violence against women in the education system. So in such a way, the education system should be modified. And gender discrimination must be avoided. This is very, very crucial and important. Gender discrimination must be avoided. So boy, girl, man, woman, male, female discrimination must be avoided. So gender equality must be there to achieve gender sensitization. Okay. So this kind of awareness on gender issues and violence against women and gender equality and finally gender sensitization is must and should to have well-behaved nature in the society. Okay, and government should make strict rules against these types of crimes. Government should not relax; it should make strict rules against these types of crimes. If rules are relaxed, then obviously such kind of immature or egoistic or jealousy people will commit those kind of things again and again. So, government should make strict rules against these types of crimes. Okay, that is mandatory. And let's move on to the next content. Laws against acid attacks in India. I am not showing any laws, but I am showing what kind of punishments should be there. Minimum imprisonment of 10 years, which may be extendable up to imprisonment for lifetime. Okay, minimum imprisonment of 10 years, and which may be extendable based on his behavior up to lifetime. And it must be non-bailable. It is non-bailable. Okay, no one can issue a bail. No one can warrant a bail. It is non-bailable. And the fine up to 10 lakhs rupees, and that fine shall be given to the victim or administrator. Okay, a fine of 10 lakh rupees is collected from the persons who committed acid attack. That fine shall be given to the victim of acid attack or the administrator. Okay, so these are the things that are related to laws against acid attacks in India. Okay. 10 years imprisonment, which may be extendable up to lifetime, and it is non-bailable. No one can warrant bail or no one can issue bail to such kind of persons, and fine must be collected from the corresponding acid attack committed person of 10 lakhs rupees, and which will be given to the victim or administered. The references I followed were Gender Studies by Kadambari and Gender Sensitization by Rajalakshmi Kalyani, and also the Hindu newspaper that I have shown here. Okay. So thank you very much for your kind attention and all the very best.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.